Hello, Albert. Hello.
That's nice for me. Hello, everyone, beautiful people around the world. You're welcome to our info section. This is QS ImpACT, and we're excited to have all of you here. Beautiful faces coming across the world, across the continent, and then making impact around the world. You're welcome, and this is our info section where we're going to discuss with you the role of QS ImpACT in making you the leader that you want to be. But if you can control the slides for me. Okay, very well. My name is Confidence Mausi, and then I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for QS ImpACT. I love what I do because I just always have to wake up and talk to a lot of young men and women around the world, and almost everyone. Now, my job is very simple. Why? Because at QS, we want to see youth grow and the youth attain their full potential, and that's what I keep doing. And then my CEO, Beth, and almost everyone in the team is excited to do this with you. Now, in this call, you're going to have at least three main things you're going to do. You're going to, one, be inspired if you want to be a leader, and then why you have to be a leader, and then how we can help you to be a leader. And that's why we've met here. Next slide, please, Beth. Amazing. You'd want to ask yourself what QS ImpACT is. You've heard about it. I mean, maybe you've seen it on social media, you've seen a flyer or, a marketing material telling you about QS ImpACT. We are just the only group that you can see around the world that we focus only on young people, and we want to train young leaders. Now, we are a charity. We are based in UK, and we are accredited to the United Nations Environmental Assembly. Now, the interesting thing is, Beth, I'm just coming from a meeting, and then someone said, Confidence, you are the UN, what was said there? And then I feel so proud because of my attachment to QS ImpACT. I had opportunity to attend the United Nations program. And that's what we want all of you here to have access to such opportunities. So we are just a global organization, a charity based in UK, accredited to the United Nations Environmental Assembly, and then we reward young people for their impact. Now, how do we do that? We reward people through what we call badges. Now, it's so nice to be recognized in your field or in what you do. So, for example, could be calling from Ghana. You are passionate about young people development. How do you get recognized? So we give you badges. Now, these badges comes in the form of what? Certificate, and not only that, they actually add to your point where you are likely to get a scholarship, and then you can be part of our annual impact awards. So we reward young people for their impact. How do we do that? We do that through badges, and then we do that through scholarships, and then through annual awards. Who doesn't want a scholarship? Who doesn't want an award? So that's what you're going to focus on now. Now, it's very simple. You have to just upload an impact report. So in all our works that we want an evidence to see what you are doing as a young person. Come to us and tell us what you're doing. And that's what we do. So please, in the course of this conversation, I want you to keep only four things: impact reports, councils, scholarships, annual awards, and that's how we go about it. Next slide, Beth. Great. Our name comes in two phases. Now, you heard about QS ImpACT. So you want to know what is QS and what is impact. QS, is an organization, or it's a brand that was actually born out from the QS Trust. So if you visit www.qs.com, you'll find out that, okay, it's an institution that does university rankings, and it has been there for over 30 years. Now, look at us being associated to an organization that is over 30 years. So it means that we've come to stay, we are doing just a work in a professional level, and then we've seen in the past, we are in the present, and we want to tell you what is happening in the future. That's what we are seeing. That's what come with us. Now, QS does global university rankings. They've learned about what university wants already. They know the jobs and then the skills young people want. We transfer that knowledge, and that's what we do here as a charity. So that's our relation with what QS ImpACT. You can check on www.qs.com to know more about QS ImpACT. Now, don't forget again, in this course of the course of this conversation, our conversation is focused on impact report, council, annual awards, and then scholarship. That's what you are talking about. Next slide, guys. Amazing. Now, you want to ask, every organization has its main core values, or what keeps the organization. Now, for us at QS Impact, once you come to us, we try to tell you that what are your own values as a person. Now, once you have your own values, means that you can have a very clear direction. Now, for us, it's about integrity. So imagine we told you are building young people or young leaders around the world. We want leaders who have integrity. And that means that through our conversations, that through you being part of us, starting a council or even joining a council, you learn this skill. You're able to mobilize. Now, change occurs when people come together. Look at you having a skills where you can mobilize. And then there is talent, there is community, there is parity, and then again, there is what? Act. Now, I'll just take you through just the act and then the community. The rest, I'm sure you visit www.qsimpact.org and then learn about our values. The beautiful thing is that just after this call, we are sharing with you our information guide and everything that you want to know about QS, a very comprehensive document telling you every bit of thing that we do. You sit down in your house, you study it. Just after the call, next week, you can send us an email to tell us, okay, I didn't understand this part, and then we just give you everything that you want already. So Albert is sharing the links in the group. You can actually check later. So community and act. We want people to be of service into the community. I tell young people that, or at QS Impact, we tell young people that what is the essence of getting all the money in the world? What is the essence of getting all the certificates in the world and not impacting people's life? And that's what we do. I'll tell you about a story when Beth actually visited a slum in Kenya. And then for me, it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen people do because you just learn a lot. And then I'll just share an experience where our CEO Beth met our council member. So on the part of the community in Kenya, she didn't have anywhere to sleep. Beth kept her in a room. She never knew her anywhere for 5 days. And that's why the spirit of community, and that's how we change the world. Beth, next slide. Amazing. So let's go on. We want to reward young people for their impact. And I'm just telling you that, hey, on this slide or on this presentation, we are taking 4 things home. We are talking about impact reports, we are talking about councils, and then we are talking about awards and then scholarships. Very well. What are QS Impact Councils then? QS Impact are the heartbeat of QS Impact Councils. They are the heartbeat. So it means that for us, we work from a community perspective or a grassroots perspective. And it is very simple. Now, it is one group of young people between the ages of 18 to 35, just like all of us met here, we come together. And when we come together, we say, okay, let us look for something that's a problem in our community. We find a problem and we say, this is what we stand for and this is what we are going to work on. And that's how a council is formed. So people of like-minded interest come together to make sure they cause a positive change. And that's what council is about. And that's what we want you all to start here. What does it mean? It doesn't matter for you to just think on a national perspective, say that, okay, we have issues of electricity in our country, and that's what I want to solve. You may want to solve that, but how are you starting from that from a very local perspective? And that's what we train young people at in QS Impact. But let's go to the next slide. Now, but then before you go to the next slide, can you go back again? Go back before you talk. Okay, now let's just look at this clear picture. These are very distinct youths from different parts of the world. Now, in this picture, I see people from DR Congo, I see people from Bangladesh, I see people from Ghana. Why don't you become part of us? Because we are a global community. Now, don't forget our values. We create a wider community. Albert will be talking, and let me just share an experience with you. We met Albert. It was my first time meeting Albert in Kenya. He's from DR Congo. Albert gave me beautiful gifts. And then my computer, I had to buy a software. And Albert said, hey, confidence, you don't have to worry. I'm going to give you that software for free. And then there's a community of sharing, and that's what you want you to be part of us. Beth is going to tell you about her story, and then I'll take it over. Beth, please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. So I'm really excited to share my story, but before we do, a really big part of what we do is recognizing young people. So I just want to shout out the presidents that are in the room that have been our prior presidents who are either moving to national board level positions, that's like trustee positions as of this re-election, or staying as local council president. So I think we have Albert here. Albert, can you give everybody a wave? Albert sits. Albert.
Congratulations, Albert.
Hey, there's Albert.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I hope you can. Yes.
Hopefully they can. So Albert, just very, very briefly, tell me your title with QS ImpACT.
Yes. Actually, I am the president of the DR Congo Council for QS Impact. And there I am working with young and old people. We are just people who are there to recognize impact. And there we are located in 3 cities actually. The first one is Lubumbashi, another one is Goma and Bukavu. And there what we have as our job it is to try to make impact which can change someone's life. In those 3 cities, we have different challenges. Like in Lubumbashi, we have climate issues. In Goma, we have people displaced, internal people who are running from war and other things. And in Bukavu, it is also the same thing because they are neighbors cities. And with my council members, we try to bring our brain together to think about what can we do to help our community, to help the, the community of these people who are suffering more than us, and to see what we can do. In December, we did something about Christmas with orphans in the 3 cities, and it was an impactful activity. We enjoyed it, and people were happy, and we felt that we have done something, we have achieved something good. So we enjoy what we are doing because we have seen that QS impact, for the first thing, they recognize the impact we do. So we don't do it, we are volunteers, but the way it is recognized, it is something which encourage people to continue to do what they are doing. And when I ask people to join or to start a council, actually, I don't know if there is something good you can do to the society if they don't remember you when you are no longer there. So what will remain when you are not here, or what people retain in their mind, it is what you have done, the impact, not what you have or who you are, but what you have done in the community. And actually, that is what we try to do. So we are facing global issues, but we try to solve them locally. We cannot
Thank you.
try to solve the climate issues globally, but we say, let's do what we can do where we are. And when we have done it, we know it is making an impact in many people's lives. So that is what I can say. But if you join a council, or you become a president, or you join just QS Impact, I think you will see that it is the place where you are dreaming to be, but you didn't know. So it is better to just try. If you try, you will see what will happen. That is what I can say to people. I have been there since the beginning of QS Impact, and if you want to know what I'm gaining from it, I will put my LinkedIn on the chat. I hope it will help more people to understand well. We can chat together.
Thank you, Albert.
Yeah.
Thank you, Albert. And I think we might also have KZ here and a few other presidents. So they will mention in the chat a little bit as well. But Albert, you've summed it up so well that really the lasting impact that we have is the most important thing. And that is the life and soul of QS Impact, that we live a legacy. So I really appreciate that sharing. Reach out to some of our presidents if you have questions. They're brilliant sources of knowledge. And Albert's been doing this for many years and has raised actually a lot of money as well. So well done, Albert. Now studying in Kenya, doing a lot of work. It was phenomenal to see you very recently, Albert.
Yes,
So
by the way, I forgot something very important. Last few weeks we went to participate in I think the UN Assembly for Environment. You cannot understand how it was an excitement to be there and to see how all the world is bringing the mind together to try to solve what we are facing. But if you want to come in such a meeting, that is just something I want to share for free. If you want to join something like that, so you can understand why this is important. So you have a place where someone you can be, people can listen to you globally, not only in your local community. So you leave your country, you come to a global thing. It is not only me or someone. You'll find the president, you'll find the ministers and other people. Just want to see and to hear from you. What are you doing? What are your problems? And I don't know if there is someone who cannot be able to enjoy something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert. Such an honor to have that experience with you and enable you to attend the UN with us. A lot more exciting things on that later, but apply to be a council member because there's some big things happening next year. Okay, so I just want to go back to the very beginning and share a little bit of my story about how I started in this position. You might be wondering what my age is. I'm young, and I got into this position back in 2016. I became a community member in our prior charity, which was not called QS ImpACT, but a different name. And I was a very nervous, non-confident young woman who was really passionate about climate change and wanted to find an avenue to get started and really amplify my voice. I'm naturally someone with a very big heart of justice, and I just want to see change. So I found an opportunity with our previous charity, which is the same as us now, and I started to found a council in Canada. I built some confidence up, and I did very shakily and scarily an information session at my university. I think I had about 15 people come, and I started to scale a council, which was a local youth group in the University of Waterloo in Canada. And I scaled it to 5 chapters across Canada. And that experience took me to the House of Parliament in the UK. It took me to Morocco as part of the council summit. It took me to then later mentoring people at the House of Parliament. It took me to talking at local coffee shops and events. And finally, this experience allowed me also to gain an international award in Canada, which was a 30 under 30 leadership award. And that really opened doors for me. And the first step for getting there was dropping the uncertainty and the lack of confidence and saying, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Because the most amazing thing that you can do is test yourself and push yourself and be willing to learn and grow as young people. And the world responds to that. Young people are an incredible source of energy and passion and learning. We're really sponges that can advance ourselves so quickly, quicker than anyone else. And so this is your call and your opportunity to make your legacy, to start your legacy just like I did. I was a young person in 2016 that led me to being the CEO of an international charity with now 8 employees. Olawale is here, wave to Olawale, is one of our full-time employees from Nigeria. He was also a council member in Nigeria, okay? And so was Confidence. So we're about empowering young people to step up to the plate and to build their leadership skills and advance themselves. And I'll tell you a very small, exciting part of my story too. When I was 13, I founded a small project about mental health in my university that then allowed me to present at the United Nations because somebody saw the work I was doing and they said, you seem like you're passionate. Let's take you to the UN. It was a fully funded opportunity because I started speaking out about things in my community at the age of 13. Just 10 years later, I then later went to the UN speaking about education and the SDGs. I worked for a UN network called SDSN. And then 5 years after that, the charity in which we run got accredited to the United Nations. We applied just last year because I believe in the incredible opportunity of international policy, connecting to ministers and advancing ourselves. And we went just 3 weeks ago to the UN to be part of the observer team to converse with ministers and things. And guess what I did today? Now this, you'll be surprised at. I spoke to an older lady actually, Dr. Agnes, who is the representative to the United Nations from Malawi. That is what UN networks do. And she is now a trustee of our Malawi Council. So I really, if anything, I'm going to tell you today is step up, take this opportunity, because you have no idea where it is going to lead you. And if you are open and willing to be a sponge and learn, there are so many skills and so many things that you can do that you would never even dreamed of. So make a plan, start small, start in your council, in your community. What's one thing that you want to do? What's one thing that you want to impact? And show the world and take up this opportunity with QS Impact to allow that to advance yourself. And who knows, maybe we'll be speaking to your minister from the UN to join your national board. That's the stage we're at. Doors are opening. And there's some very exciting challenges and in-person events happening over the next year. So that's my story. And you can see how I grew up, had very similar hair throughout the past 15 years. That's the story from 13-year-old Beth to 28-year-old Beth and where we are now. So back over to you, Confidence. If anyone has questions about that experience and about the councils, we're going to be doing a Q&A at the end. Oh, I'm going to share, sorry, this last slide. So if I haven't...
Yeah, Beth, thank you very much. Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Would you like to take on this slide? You can go ahead.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Oh, so sorry. I'm actually converging between two networks at the same time. So sorry, I don't know what's happening. Now, speaking about benefits from Beth's side, Albert has shared his experience too. Now, Beth shared a little bit of my experience, and then everything she said was right. So being from a volunteer to working with full-time with QS, that's just my experience. What are the benefits of being part of our council? Now, if you are actually lost of this conversation or you just joined, don't forget we are talking about only 4 things today: impact report, council, scholarships, and then awards. Now you gain valuable skills. What are the skills? You learn how to talk. So imagine being a council president. You stand in front of people because you can learn all the skills of public speaking, be able to talk very well. Now, any person who is able to communicate well is, going to be a very good team player. And then not only a very good team player, it's going to be very well. Network opportunities. I stay in Ghana. I work with people like people from other countries like Wale. I work with Albert. I work with Beth. And the network is great. So if I have to pick my bag now, go to the Congo, I know that Albert is going to give me a place to sleep. If I pick my bag and tell Beth I want to visit Canada, I have the great network. Now, this great network has a very great resources too. You understand your community needs and develop solutions. Now, because we work from a more practical way, Albert will do a project. She will come and share with us, and then we all learn from the project, and that's how we go about it. Now, you connect with like-minded youth. It's so amazing to see youth from different countries working in our community. Imagine you are in Kenya, you have a connection with someone in USA, or better still, you are in Uganda and you have a connection with someone in Canada. Look at the society that you're building for ourselves. And then we create a stronger and more caring world. What are the purpose of our existence if we are not able to live a world that will be more favorable to even the next generation? So you learn valuable skills when you join our community. Can you have the next slide, please?
Can you see this?
Yes. So, we are talking about councils. It's just 2 things. It's either you join a council or you start a council. So it's either you join or start. What does it mean to join? To me, to join means that there's an existing council or there's an already council where you in your community or in your society or wherever you are or university, there's a council there. We believe in community as a part of our core values. So why don't you join them to make a change? Because there's no competition. It's just making impact, one impact at a time. You get awards, one impact at a time. You are open to our 7 scholarships. And we give to you scholarships for free. You don't care if you have a first class degree or if you're coming with a second class, as long as you have a community service. So you either join. How do you join? You find your local council, then you provide the details on our website. I'll be showing you how to do that. And you provide all the necessary information, and that's just it. You become part of the council. So, for example, if you're in Kenya and then there's a council already, or if you're in Jericho group, there are councils there. You join any of them, and that's how you grow. It's interesting how you can be part of us because we communicate you through our emails, we communicate through WhatsApp, and we communicate through all different channels that you want. Or better still, you can start a council. Best started a council in Canada. I best started a council in DR Congo. That's leadership. That's taking initiative. That's acting as part of our core values I told you later. Now you can start a council in your own community, wherever you stay. So for example, if you're in Kenya, you can start a council in Mukuru. If you are in Yakubu, you can start a council in university, the university that you are. You can have a council there. Or anywhere you are. How do you do that? I'm going to show you all that. Provide your details, very simple steps, and just that you are part of us. So there are two things you have to do after this call. It's either you are joining a council or what you are starting a council. Let's can I have the next slide? Good. So what are the steps? I told you it's either you join a council or you start a council. Now, we have a very simple process that, you want to really learn from us. For you to start a council or join a council, you have to have an account on our platform. We keep your data very well, and then, you are not exposed to any breach of data. So the first thing is for you is to create an account with us. So what does it mean to create an account? So you just fill in your details, your name, your surname, your date of birth, your email address, and that is just it. So let's go to the next slide, Beth. So you create an account. Before you join or start a council, just create an account. You create an account at www.qsimpact.org. So you go to our website, that's just it. So you can I bet we share the website in the group and then you can find it, www.qsimpact.org. Now, when you visit the website, it's just a beautiful interface that you're going to see. Okay, you go to, for young people, there's a tab called for young people. So that is just for us here, 18 to 35 years, people that you've met here, that you want to make a change. For example, it is almost 8 p.m. in Kenya, and then Albert is here listening, and other young people in Kenya, they are listening. So in other countries, it is midnight. India like this, it is 11 p.m., and then they are still listening to it. This is how the change you make. So for young people, then you select councils. Now, once you click on councils, this is what comes. The next slide, and very simple process. Very simple process. So www.qsimpact.org for young people councils. Now, when you click on councils, you just scroll down. Just scroll down, and then you have two options. I told you either you start or you join a council. You can start a council means you are taking initiative. But before you want to start a council, just check if there is a council in your community already. And we are ready to answer all your questions. Myself is here, Olubali is here, Albert is here to answer all questions about joining or starting a council. So after this call, just choose one, start or join a council. Beth, please let's go ahead. Okay, please go ahead, Beth.
Yeah, if there is an interest to just join, you don't want to start one, which I still recommend, you can fill out this form, which means it's an expression of interest. You want to join a council which is not currently founded in your community. So if you do not want to start one, but you're just interested to join, please fill out this form and we will get in touch and we can help recruit a local president in your area. However, I'd like to see you all start them.
Amazing. So that's just it. So start or join a council or fill the form and then go ahead. Now, you can choose to join a local council. Let me explain this to you. What's a local council? Now, we operate on a basis on a community perspective. So the more communities we have, the larger we become. Now, a local council means that a group of young people in university, in a town who put themselves together, and that's what we call a local council. Now, you have the leadership ranks in them, so there can be a president. So, for example, Mukuru, local council president. So, QS Impact Mukuru. How do you do that? So, to start a local council, you have to just, get the council application form. The council application form, and that's just it. So, you just sit down, you have a very thorough thinking about whatever you want to do. Now, you want to put out, okay, what's the title of the council you want to have? So, for example, it's just the community you find yourself. If you are in Ghana, maybe you stay in Adenta, you want to have the Adenta Council, and you're speaking to young people already, about 3-4 people. For you to start a local council, you should have a minimum of 3 people. Now, you're speaking to them in your university already, maybe University of Lagos. You put it there, the title there, and then you write University of QS Impact, University of Lagos Council. Now, the title, so it's University of Lagos, then you put that there. Now, SDG focus. So when you scroll down, you have the SDGs that you want to choose from. Which of the SDGs do you want to choose from? Is it SDG 13? Is it SDG 1? Is it SDG 6? Whatever SDG that you want to focus, you choose a maximum of 5. And then that's what you focus on. Now, you tell us your motivation. just within you. You don't have to go and copy any text for us. Tell us why you are interested in forming a council. Now, the vision and mission. What do you want to achieve, and how do you get to achieve that? I would, when I'm done with just the slide, I'll ask Becky to explain vision and mission very well to you. She understands it very well. Now, the team details, you put the young people that you want to start the team with. And in the upcoming projects, you sit down and think, which project do I envision to have? And then you put them there. Past experience, if you have, fair enough, put them there. If you've led councils before, let us know your experience so that we can engage you further. But if you don't have, it's not a problem at all. But please, just 30 seconds, talk about vision and mission.
Sure. So when you fill out this application form, you are showcasing what you as a leader want to do in your community. So a very important part of it is you need to understand the issues in your community. The first step to do this is selecting these SDGs, but you might not know what SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, are prevalent in your community. So my top tip is to look up the data sets online, such as the SDG Index by SDSN. You can just SDG Index, Google it, or it's a link I just sent, I believe. And that will showcase to you what country you're part of and what the most prevalent SDGs are. So for instance, in Canada, I saw that climate action was a really big SDG that we needed to work more on. We were investing a lot in fossil fuel exploration. So with that, the vision might be that I want to create a world where climate change isn't real. And my mission is how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to mobilize 100 people in my local community to campaign, start projects by planting trees and doing all these things so that I can achieve a world where that vision comes into play. And that vision is a world without climate change. Vision, what is the world you want? Mission, how do you get there?
Good. Thank you very much, Beth. Amazing. I told you there's a lot of learning here. Vision and mission. Now you've learned about vision and mission. Now, Beth is moving to the next slide. But if you are following this conversation, we are talking about 4 main things: impact report, councils, scholarships, and award. We've spoken about councils already. It's either you start or you join a council. We're speaking about the benefits. Albert has shared his benefits. Beth has shared his benefits. I've shared my benefits too. We were talking about impact report too, and the scholarships and awards, because the best thing is for you to start or join a council first. Now, once you start or join a council first, you focus on your impact. Then you report to us, then you get awards, you get scholarships. What is the top tip here? You don't have to be an expert already. You don't have to be an expert in development. You just have to have a passion, because it's passion that moves the world. Odwale is the best graphic designer I've seen. His works are very beautiful because he has passion to do what he wants to do. Beth is actually doing his best in her role as a CEO because she's moved by passion, and she's not prepared, but whatever experience that or whatever situation that comes away. So please don't tell us you are scared. Start when you are scared. Start when you feel uncomfortable, and that's passion, and then you go away in a long way to help you. Okay, next slide. So if you have any question, you can be putting them in the chat, and then we can respond to you. Now, okay, we're speaking about the fact that you have to apply for a council or start a council or even join a council. After you've done that, so the first thing is you should have register on our platform or sign up on our platform. So you register on www.qsimpact.org. You become a member. Now, when you become a member, you apply or you want to join a council. You have young people together, then you start that. Now, the basic requirement here is you're going to have an application review by our team. So we sit down and we say, okay, these young people want to have an opportunity in life. How do we give them the opportunity? So we review the application. And just the basic things you ask you, please take time and fill it. Your council title, what you're going to focus on, your mission statement, your vision statement. I'm telling you that just after this call, in 30 minutes or in 1 hour, expect an email from us coming to you. And this email is giving you a detailed document telling you everything about QS Impact and whatever you want to know. Now, if you are going for a QS president, commitment and credibility is very important. Because remember our core values, the 6 core values you want to stand on. Integrity. So you want to be committed, you want to be credible, and that's how you grow. What does it mean? You want to attend meetings, you want to at least commit 2 hours of your time a week. If you come to me and ask me, confidence, how do I commit 2 hours a week? I'll just show you. You should be focused. You keep learning. Now, Beth tells me that confidence, you have to be more of a manager. He said, okay, I started reading books on manager. I mean, you have to just keep learning. That's how you grow as a person. So you apply, your application is reviewed, and then this is the next step. Number 3. Okay, number 3, bets. Next slide. Great. So once you apply, your application is going to be reviewed. And once it is reviewed, good. You have an interview with us. Congratulations already, because you passed the first step, you passed the second step. Let us interview. You can sit in the comfort of your home and then we interview. You don't have to be shaking. You don't have to be panicking. We want to groom young leaders like you. So you just tell us whatever you wrote on the document and we want to listen to you. You don't have to just chew what you wrote. Just come and express yourself. I wrote that I want to have a QS Impact Council in Nigeria, Lagos University, and we want to focus on climate change. We want to focus on education or scientific. We want to focus on poverty or whatever. Come and tell us. And then once you just do that, you want to present a strategy. The strategy is just simple. Okay, Beth, please go ahead. Your hand is raised. Sorry, my video is off.
No, I don't mean to interrupt you. You were on a perfect path. And I was just going to add something to that as any leader, your vision is very important. So you're going to mobilize people around you based off of what you see in the world and what you want to create, okay? So if I want to create a world where everybody here is recognized not for what they have in their pocket or what they got in their exam, but what impact they make on the world, that's my vision, right? That's what I'm doing in my life as a CEO of QS Impact. Maybe you have a vision where poverty is eliminated in your community, you've seen something happen, or people aren't going to school. That is what you're setting as your agenda as a leader. You want that thing to be improved upon and acted upon. So say this to us in one page, simple and sweet. What is it that you want to change and how are you going to do that? You don't need all the answers to the questions, but the first tip of being a leader is by seeing a world in a different way and trying to get towards that goal.
Thank you very much, Beth. Thank you. Thank you. That's very simple. So for us, it's always a learning curve. You learn a lot. So Beth, let's go ahead. So you apply. Now once you apply, there's a review. Once there's a review, there's an interview. And hey, congratulations. The last and final step. You're about to start a council. Yeah, you have to just sign a document for us. So what are documents? So you have to sign a contract. And in any organization, you just have to learn the things you have to do and what you don't have to do. It's just a simple document telling you your roles, your responsibilities, how do you communicate, and then every bit of things. So you sign, and then that's a contract. And then there's onboarding. So with the onboarding, we teach you about our branding. So for example, Wale will come in and tell you and give you classics, or maybe we'll have a training for you on branding. And then you have free branding training. And then, for example, Beth will come to you and then tell you how to communicate with your team. So you have free communication training. And that's just it. So you sign the document within the time frame, and there's onboarding where we teach you everything that you want to do. We take you through every step, how to start your first project, how to get funds, and etc. And that's it. You are gone. Please go ahead and put in the chat if you have a question. If you have any question bothering you, please put in the chat, and then we're going to read anything for you. So do you have a question now? Question. But before the question comes, do you have something to say?
I don't actually. I'm waiting for these questions to come in. One question. Do I need to be a student to apply? I can answer that question. No, you do not need to be a student to apply. So there's 3 types of councils. 1, university council.
Okay, but we have some questions there. My network keeps dropping. But before the questions come, I want to just pick up everything that you've done in just a minute. Everyone here.
Sorry, Confident. Delay there in the internet. I'll just finish my sentence, Confidence. I'll pass over to you. If someone can message Confidence if his internet just interrupted there. So do you need to be a student to apply? No, there's 3 types of councils. So 1 is a city-based council, and 2 is a city or a town. So you can apply if you are currently at a university, but you do not have to be at a university institution to apply. You could also do it for your city or your town. Confidence, we also have a question in our chat here that says, do QS ImpACT help with funding in case you start a council and have projects to work on? So, not necessarily. So it's a case-by-case basis. We have previously provided funding through programs. So if QS ImpACT gets a sponsor, there is opportunities for you to participate and get that funding to help your council. That is how we operate as QS ImpACT. We are not a largely funded charity. We are seeking funding avenues, but it's very much through a program in which you gain funding. We don't give away any cash. It's through a program, or if you win an award where cash is given, but that is currently not done. The second thing that we ask is that the national governing teams or your local plan of action for the year focuses on fundraising. So we can support letters, we can support funding efforts, we can put up campaigns and things like that, and also train you on fundraising. But the whole point of being a leader and running a council is that you also need to try to mobilize yourself to gain funds. Every year we do a season of giving campaign. So at the end of the year, we do try to push funding through campaigns where you can receive a small amount for projects. But as I said, this is not central, and we do really, really appreciate and uplift young people to support their own fundraising efforts, and haven't been hugely successful in fundraising ourselves on a crowdsourcing avenue. Albert also knows a lot about fundraising. He's fundraised almost £1,000 for one of his programs, and there's many different maybe learnings to do there. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
But just to add a bit, now the only point is you need passion. Don't let money be a barrier for you. Don't let funding be a barrier. It is passion. And once you are passionate about things, you don't need money. So we have some few questions to come in, and Wally has them. He will try to address them very briefly now. Thank you, Wally.
Thank you, Confidence. Hello, world. It's been a really great time at this information session, and I hope we're all informed. And so we have a couple of questions. I'll just take them, and I'll try to answer them and shed more light. All right. So the first question is, what does it take to start a council in my institution? Like you've learned on this call that at university levels, you can have councils. So like you've learned the proper protocol, you register, and most of the time to start such things in your university, you have to know, register with the school, knowing that the school allows such. Then you come to our website. I will drop on this call to start a council, and there are councils in already existing universities, so you can check if we have a council in your institution. We have reach in over 18 countries in Africa, so you can check maybe there's an already existing council in your university, and if there is none, and like we've said on this call to take initiative, and you want to start a council, the protocols are clear. Any further comments on that, Confidence?
You've done a great job. So that's just starting a council. So start. If you can't start, come to us and ask a question, and then we help you start it. So check. So Eluwale, you are super right. Go to the next question if you have it.
Thank you. So just to add as a motivation, the best time to make an impact is now. All right. The next question is, what's the passion behind QS Impact? And like you should know, QS Impact is a charity, right? So what's motivating us? What's pulling us ahead? All right. I want you to know that we are really passionate about recognizing impact in local communities. That's what really inspires us. We want to recognize your impact in your local community. And this impact is channeled towards the United Nations 17 SDGs. The SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goals. All right. I could count them beginning to end: no poverty, education, health, gender equality. There is problem all around us. Population data shows that Asian and African countries have a lot of young people, and there are a lot of problem all around us. And to be a change maker, just begin to solve problems. So look at what problem can I solve around the SDGs. You don't have to really think high. Start from cleaning up the environment. Okay, our streets are dirty. How can I multiply? Because leadership is influence. So now I feel I want to go in this direction. Can I gather people to follow me in the same direction to achieve this goal? And before you know, the vision is battered and the council is battered and the change is spreading. So we are really, really big on recognizing impact. And like you've learned on this call, there are scholarships, big opportunities. There is the ImpACT Award that you get by writing an impact report. So I hope we'll have some of you on this call nominated at the next edition of the ImpACT Awards as we receive the impact report. All right. Another question we have received is, how can I become a member of the QS Impact community? That is pretty easy, right? It's safe to say if you're on this call, welcome to the family, right? It's that easy. So we are very accessible. You can check us on our website. You can check our social media. We have a very strong social media presence. Engage us right away. You can see from our social media, we have originality. You see, just like you from across, if you have been consistent with our Instagram page, you will have seen Albert planting a tree. That's the law. That's saving the environment. That has an influence on SDG 13, climate action, life on land, and that simple act can last for years, right? So, and that's about that. And the last question I have here is, will certificates be issued after this Zoom meeting? Wow, that's very, very good question. I guess someone is trying to build up their CV and LinkedIn, right? Okay, so we have, just to let you know the enormous opportunities. Okay, Beth, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, Beth, go ahead.
I want to state here, so you have to volunteer for at least 3 months to get any certificate with QS ImpACT. So we do ask that you are present in meetings, that maybe if you're part of a council, that you work with your president. You have to have 3 months minimum of volunteering. We also do have a very big program. I am wanting to release it, but I won't be able to release it until April because it's a very big program that is completely free, international, all based on tech for the Sustainable Development Goals, launching this summer, that you will get a certificate for doing, but you do have to put in the work. And I want to remind you to use that initiative and do that work. It's not just taking attendance. It's doing a lot more than that. You have to make some impact to get that certificate.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Olubali. Thank you, Albert, for sharing some great experiences. Do you have another question?
All right. So yeah, another question goes. So as I leave you all and hand you over to our community engagement coordinator, that is Confidence, my Charlie from Ghana. I would like to read a word from our sticker. You need to see our sticker. It's really beautiful. I wish you could just distribute it all over on this call. It says, "We at QS Impact, we are changing the world in one impact at a time. One impact at a time. One impact at a time." So from us, yeah, Confidence, spot on. That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, better ask one too.
I do see one more question. Thank you also for the stickers. We are distributing these through our council, so if you want to sign up, you could potentially get some of the stickers. We run QS fairs in our council communities. We did not mention this today, but you will get direct opportunity to speak on panels, interact in booths, be able to counsel other young people about impacts, scholarships, and what QS ImpACT is about. Both Albert and Confidence have done many different events in Kenya, online, and Ghana, and that is a way you can get these amazing stickers by volunteering with your councils. So definitely sign up. We do have one more question here in the chat, Confidence, which was a really good question. This is from Jude. With regards to starting a council, can we have a template or an example of how the yearly rundown or the plan document should be? So something like an action plan, how we can do it. Yes, we can 100% send that off to you next week as an example. My tip for now, because we don't have that example to hand other than the handbook, which you'll be getting after this, is to break it down per quarter. So you are accountable per quarter to deliver impacts. Does everybody know what a quarter is? It's 4 times of a year. So it's every 3 months. So you have to deliver at least a project every 3 months in your community and be able to report back to the board, which is the national governing team, which will help advise you. So your action plan needs to outline what you're going to do every quarter. What are you going to focus on? Is it a fundraising initiative? Is it a drive? What does it look like? That's the type of thing we want to see your vision on and how you want to do that, and to break it down in terms of goals. And when we talk about goals, it's impact measurement, which is all measured over on our impact reports. How many people do you want to work with? What are your partners? What SDGs? What materials do you need? What time of year is it? Who's going to host you? What's the location? Are you going to have somebody to coordinate the partnerships and someone to coordinate the fundraising? So these types of elements, think super high level on how you're going to implement that over 4 quarters, and we'll send you a guide next week.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. So everyone on this call today, we're speaking about 4 or 5 things. We want you to start a council or join a council. Now, we're taking you through the steps on how to start or join a council. We're speaking about what impact report means, because through impact report, you can have access to our awards, you can have access to our scholarships. They are just there for you, as long as you make impact in your community, 1 impact at a time, and then you have everything. 1 hour, just 5 minutes, or maybe some few minutes after this presentation, we are sending you every bit of material you need on the handbook. Visit our social media pages, and that's just it. We are done. So thank you all for coming. Beth, if there's something you want to say, we can wrap up now.
Our tradition, if you don't know already, Loretta might know this well, and Albert might, is to take a picture at the end with everyone's cameras on. Sorry, I don't know if Confidence can hear me. Please put your cameras on, because we're now going to take a picture and we're going to post it on our social media. This is a nice opportunity for you to share with people about what you want to do with the world. This is the start. So if everyone wants to come on, it'd be wonderful to see your faces. We even have an advisor with us, Dr. Khan. Hi, Dr. Khan from Pakistan. Nice to see you. He's been helping us with our UN work.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
So good. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
I went a little bit late due to some prayers time.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for coming. Happy Ramadan. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a screenshot. So everyone pop on your screens and we'll take a screenshot. Hello. Smile. Oh, waiting for others. Gaze. Smile. Oh, I can't do it. Smile. Oh, one more. Right. Wait for everyone. Are we ready? Are we ready? Everybody get your cameras on. 1 second. Okay, smile. That's a bigger team. There you go. Hey, thank you, everybody. We'll be posting that on our social media. And thank you, everybody. Hope to see you reply. Please do message us if you need any help. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.